Start with breaking news. Charges have been filed in the death of 3-year-old Kardie Weathersby. 21-year-old Travion Shaver, who Weathersby's mother says is Cardie's father, has been charged with murder and aggravated battery. Weathersby was dropped off at the emergency room on October 13th and later died from blunt force trauma. Shortly after she was dropped off at the hospital, her mother told officials that the girl was under the care of her father. An arrest warrant has been issued. Shaver is currently in jail in Michigan on unrelated charges.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody going to clean it up.
Going on, everybody. I almost got caught slipping. But what's going on? It's your girl, the missus with the kisses. Mwah. And I am here tonight, you all, with a show that I am so honored that this young lady is here tonight. This this story happened almost 2 years ago now, going on 2 years ago. And this young lady has never, ever spoken out to the news broadcast. She has not spoken on any platforms or anything. So this is literally her first time ever speaking out on her daughter's death. When I say I am so thankful that she came here tonight, I'm going to try and make this as comfortable for her because I know she's nervous. We already just spoke, but we are definitely going to make this as comfortable as possible for her. So, I have to bring up Jason. Here he is. Here he go.
Yo, what
Hey,
up, though?
Jason.
What up, though? What's good with y'all? How
What
y'all
up,
doing?
though? How you doing?
We are good, man. Blessed and highly favored. I don't use that too often, but right now I am, man. It's in my spirit to say that we're here to show love, man. We're here to show our hearts, our vulnerability to someone that is special to us, and for someone to lose something so special, we are happy and glad that she's here to share that story.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a sad one, y'all. It's a sad one. I'm sorry, y'all. My kid's been over here playing and stuff. Okay, it's a very, very sad story. I showed you all a clip earlier today that I released on my station. I'm sorry, that I released on Facebook. So a lot of you all are familiar with what the story is going to be about. We're going to go ahead and bring up Bernardo because Bernardo is who actually brought this young lady to our platform. So let's give it up for Justice for Michiana. Bernardo.
Thank you. Hey, Jason. Hey, Peachy.
Yo, what up, though, my
Hello.
friend?
What's up? Just thank you for bringing on a climate that we work with when this happened 2 years ago. I personally was on vacation when it happened, but my team was there to help her walk through her during her darkest hours. And I follow her still to today. Um, she have a newborn baby, and I know that baby gonna be treated with love. Like I've been on Facebook many years, and I haven't seen a mother yet show that much love to her daughter. That's in that age range. Um,
Exactly.
I still look at videos of her and her daughter, and I know that her son life gonna be like that. I think I even like make sure you send me videos of your son, because it's awesome to see a mother of her age, young and in her child life with that much love. If everybody, a parent, give their child that love, man, Jason,
Talk about it, brother. Talk about it.
be on here talking.
That part.
Yeah, you are so right about that.
And I just want to thank her for trusting in our organization. She always a phone call away, and we would be there to the end, and the end never comes.
Exactly. So we're going to go ahead and introduce her up. This young lady is VANINA Weathersby, and everyone at home knows her by Nino. So here she is, Miss Nino.
Yeah. What up, though?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Nino. I really
Yeah,
really
thank you for
appreciate it.
having me. Thank you for
Definitely.
having me on here. Thank you for everything. It's nerve wracking, but I'm here.
And I'm thankful that you're here. And I thank you for trusting me, Jason and Bernardo, with your story. And I appreciate you coming on my platform. I really, really, genuinely do. My heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. It really does. Please let
Thank you.
everyone know, how old are you, first of all? Because Bernardo keeps saying she young, she young, she young. How old are you?
I'm actually 23. I turned
Oh,
24 in
baby.
November. Yeah.
I know
Wow.
everybody say you just a baby. I know you grown. You grown, but hey, you just a
Yes,
baby.
I be having to say that all the time. I'm grown, but I am young.
Now, how old were you when the tragedy happened?
I was 22. Yeah, I
22.
was because I'm 23. Yeah, no, I'm 20. I was 21, 22.
Probably
I think
just
I was
turning 22.
Yeah,
Wow.
probably just turned 22. 'Cause the next month, yeah, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with a clip. And after I play this clip, I want you to go ahead and let us know a little bit about Cardi first. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about what happened on that tragic day. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Here go clip number 1.
Developing now, we're working to learn more about the death of a 3-year-old girl who was dropped off at a South Bend ER with life-threatening injuries.
News Now reporters at Corner live at Beacon Memorial Hospital with what we know so far. Zach.
Well, Lauren and Terry, it was right here at Beacon Memorial Hospital, right behind me, actually, at the emergency room where 3-year-old Kardie Weathersby was dropped off. Now, I made contact with the family earlier today, and they were able to provide me this photo so we can see exactly who this little girl is. Take a look at your screen right there. That is 3-year-old Kardie Weathersby. Again, she was dropped off at the emergency room, but unfortunately, this story has a tragic ending, and we're working to learn more about this. But again, I offered the relatives earlier an offer for an interview, and they said they're still trying to process this tragedy. They weren't really ready to speak their piece quite yet. But let's get into what we know so far. Now, it was early in the morning on Tuesday, just before 1 a.m. Police responded to the emergency room here at Beacon Memorial after Kardie Weathersby was just dropped off, and it has not been released who exactly dropped her off. It's not known if that's even known at this point, but it's something we're working to find out. Now, as was mentioned, her injuries were described by police as life-threatening. Then yesterday afternoon, the tragic news from the prosecutor's office: 3-year-old Cardi had died. County Metro Homicide continues to investigate and so far have no updates as of my last check. An autopsy is scheduled for Monday in Fort Wayne, and they expect to know more once that autopsy is complete. Now, like I said, the investigation into exactly what happened is still ongoing. No suspects have been named, and so far, no arrests have been reported at this time. So we'll wait for that autopsy on Monday and see what new information is released at that point. And again, this is a developing story. Plenty more to learn here, so stay with us right here on 16 News Now as we continue to follow this story.
All right. And we are back, Nina. We are back. Tell us a little bit about Cardi. Cardi with the K. Cardi
Yeah.
with a K.
Cardi with a K. It's crazy how I even came up with her name, but my daughter was amazing. Like when I say I didn't have to really discipline or do much with her, like she was amazing. Like when it came down to just anything, like she was just so happy. Like just her presence was like I can't, it's unexplainable really. It's just like a type of love that you will know by just the feeling of it. Like that was my best friend. Like we did everything together. Even when it came down to I couldn't even use the bathroom by myself. Like just thinking about her is just I just love her so much. And that was my struggle buddy, my I don't know what you would call it. She went through all the trials and tribulations with me, just being a young mother. Like when we got our first apartment, she definitely felt like that was our first apartment, having our own room. Like I don't know, it's so much I can say about her. She was just the perfect toddler and
Oh,
like very intelligent.
yes. She was a beautiful, beautiful young lady. For those that, let me show y'all another pic of her. For those that did not see my pictures of her, this is her. This is another picture of her.
Absolutely adorable. Adorable.
Adorable, 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 adorable,
And the
adorable.
crazy thing is that you could see so much light in her.
Like,
There was so
Yes.
much light in her. Still
Yes,
is, still is. There, your darkest days when you don't see much and you're just down in the dumps, and all of a sudden you see a twinkle in the side of your eye. That's her saying, "Mommy, don't do it. Don't go there. I'm still
look,
here."
Yeah.
look at
And I
that.
definitely feel that. It's like
Mhm.
that's what's been helping me get through this. I haven't been through any therapy or anything. It's just me just keeping her memory alive and just thinking about the good times that we had. Even though I'm not gonna say it was easy getting to this point, but it is definitely something I've never experienced in my life, and it was really hard dealing with it and just figuring out even back to the funeral and everything. I've never really even been to a funeral. Like it was a lot.
That was your first funeral?
Well, my I had both my great grandmas pass away, but I didn't attend their funeral.
Okay,
So basically, yeah, not my first death, but my first real funeral and death that was really close to me.
exactly, exactly. Okay, so I'm gonna read this off. This is one of the news articles, and I'm gonna read this to everyone. It says charges have been filed against a suspect in the murder of a 3-year-old child who died 2 days after a man dropped the child off at the hospital and left, according to court records. Travion Dewan Shaver, 21, has been charged with murder and aggravated battery in the death of Cardi Weathersby. On October 13th, just before 1 p.m., a man pulled up at Memorial Hospital and mentioned for staff to help him, reports said. Staff went to the vehicle and found Cardi unresponsive. The man didn't say anything. As soon as staff had Cardi clear of the vehicle, the man left, according to the probable cause affidavit. Staff determined Cardi suffered serious life threatening head injuries. She died on October 15th. Shortly after the victim was dropped off, her mother arrived at the hospital. I'm going to stop right there. Now, some of the questions that I want to ask is how long was Cardi with her father? As far
She
as
was only
that day or a couple, she was with her for a couple of days.
It was really only like a day and a half, not even a full day, because I had seen her the same night that he had her. So he had her for 2 days, but we were in the same area. So, I checked in on them. And so I seen her the same night it happened.
Okay. Now, was it just a regular visit? She just wanted to go over there and visit, or do he take her to school? How did this work? Like, how did he
So,
end up with her?
so we were in the beginning of co-parenting because at first we were staying together. but that didn't work out. So we had just got into, that was his third time really getting her and going by himself, like as far as in co-parenting. Because he usually would be like in the house, you know, go to work, come home, we all in the same area. But after co-parenting, like he would go to his cousin's house with her or to his mom's. And this one particular time he stayed in South Bend, was at his cousin's with her.
Okay. And what happened? Okay, so you said you saw her that night. The night that she was beaten. What happened that night when you left? I mean, everything seemed fine with Travion and Cardi.
The thing about Travion is like our relationship, we never really had a good relationship with each other, but we always tried to make it work for Cardi. So the night that I did see him, we were kind of arguing, like always, like it was very toxic with him. And I'm not going to say like everything was just perfect, but I did have a feeling like he's mad and just angry about, he was a very aggressive person. I'm just going to say that much.
Okay.
When it came, especially if I did something that he didn't like, and we weren't even in a relationship. It was just the whole point of me being his baby's mother.
Controlling.
Now, how long was you and Travion together as a couple?
I wouldn't even technically consider us a couple. We never been a couple. Like once, like parenting, when it came down to parenting, I just was like, okay, let's just do this for our daughter. And he moved in with me in February, and he had been staying with us for about 6 months prior to us co-parenting. So I guess you consider that a relationship or whatever you want to call it.
Now, was he violent at that time when y'all was together?
Yeah, he was. Like everybody that knows him knows how he's an aggressive person. Like I'm not gonna like get on here and bash him totally.
Good.
But because I will give him his props when it came down to being a dad. He was there when it came down to getting her hair done, brushing her teeth, giving her baths. Like he was doing that. I just think that he had mental issues that he didn't, figure out himself.
Yeah.
And by us being in the Black community, people don't take it serious. And I kind of seen the signs by him first coming around, like bipolar, schizophrenia, like a lot of stuff that probably a lot of people wouldn't even say.
Agreed. And Just Jay had a great statement just as you were saying this. He said this a little while back when you introduced not being able to go to treatment or having the time to talk to someone. Is don't wait, man, to seek help. Mental health is absolutely serious, and with our community, we've been told a lot that it don't help. And what they gonna tell? We gonna tell all your business? Like, yes, do that, because here's the thing: trauma has no time nor age. And what happens is that you incur trauma when you're very young or old. It depends, right? But the body doesn't know the difference. So when things in your surroundings happen to you, trauma triggers the body. The body triggers whatever happens in you to react. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want to be able to address that. And it seems that, this young man might have had some things going on, some trauma in him that just didn't allow him to be the best that he could be. And it's a blessing that you still allowed him to have his child in his life, right? So kudos to you and doing that and not breaking, not being a part of the statistic and breaking that part and saying, hey, I want you to still be here, even if we're not on great terms. That just shows.
And I feel like that was my biggest downfall is my heart. Like I care too much sometimes, and especially when it came down to. And it's like, especially when it came down to him, it's like, we have a daughter. This is both of our first kid. And I want it to be perfect. It can't be perfect, but I want to give you as many chances as I can so we can set up for our future, our daughter's future. Even if we're not going to be together, I want to see you do good. I want you to see me do good, just for the simple fact of our kid.
There you go.
And And I went through a lot just trying to steady take him back, steady, I think you can do it. I think you can do, be better. I see the good in you, but I couldn't get it out of him.
Right.
And that's hard for Jason if you heard what she just said.
Mhm.
Looking down here, during paternity visitation case for somebody where the mother not allowing the father to see the child, and we listen to a young lady saying, I'm giving him that chance to be that dad, regardless what we going through. I'm not gonna stop that. And that's so powerful because I'm working now a case. She's in her 30s, almost 40, won't allow the father. So how great does that look to see a new generation saying, I'm gonna allow the father to see our child? Awesome.
Right.
Now, but if the man is being violent with you, that's where a lot of people come in and be like, okay, she saw the red flags, and but look what happened. I mean, I feel like a situation like this, she's back. Hold on. Hey, I feel
Hi, I'm
like a
sorry.
situation like this, um, I mean, I would have to know more to the story. I would have to know more to the story because she seemed like Nino. You sound like he was a good guy.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say he was just a good guy because we went through a lot. When I say that, I just don't want to go into too much of details of what I went through, but he wasn't perfect. But I tried to see the best in him, so I gave him that chance to do good. But he did a lot of bad. I will say he did a lot of bad, and there was a lot of signs there that I ignored just for the simple fact that I wanted him to be great for his daughter.
Right.
Exactly. And there's a lot of women out there that's like that. There's a lot of women out there that's like that.
But again, man, and it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? When we really look at it, and I'm glad that you're saying it, Nino, the way that you're saying it, because
I am
we're
too.
not we're not gonna bash him at all. And it's just the fact that a lot of us, especially you guys in that early 20 age bracket, have no help, or you don't know how to
Yeah,
seek help,
Yeah.
or you're absolutely terrified to seek help. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? On a more
And I have been
psychological level.
I have been in predicaments with him where it was just like, who do I call? Like, what do I do in this,
Yeah.
situation? And it's like not knowing stuff and not having the wisdom to certain stuff. Like, you can sit back now and be like, oh, I could have did this, I should have did that. But that's why
Moment.
I am how I am now, because going through what I done been through. And
Right.
I've learned and I've grown from the woman that I used to be and the woman I am now.
Correct. Correct.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
Well, you got something else you finna say, Jason?
well, I was gonna run into some of these comments because some people are saying some real interesting things, and I love it.
Okay, go ahead.
Miss Belinda says, she still has to look out for her safety, though. I was battered and it's scary. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to get away and protect yourself and your little ones if you have the opportunity. I would never negate that. But also, we have to be able to try our best to give or get help to the other person, because then what happens is we sit in a circle. Like it's a reoccurring circle if that person doesn't find or allow himself or herself to get treatment and get help. Not necessarily treatment, but help to break that cycle. Because if you don't know what you don't know, you won't know it at all, or you won't try to seek it. So Nino just said it. I had, now that I know the information that I had like gained through life turmoils, I know to do things just a little bit different. And if you see someone in help or in need of help, try your best. Call an auntie, call an uncle, call their best friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before you start putting the law into place, but call the closest people to them to help them open their eyes just a little bit, enough to hear that voice.
Okay, but
Right.
what if you do try all that? What if you tried all that? How many times do you keep giving the person a chance?
Well,
Nina, I
Mhm.
told you that, sometimes we go a little bit deep on here, but
Yeah.
I'm serious because I'm here for you, Nino, just as well, but I'm also here for all the other women out there.
Right.
Right.
How do you know how many times do you keep trying and giving this man chance after chance after
Well,
chance after
can I speak on that?
You
I
sure
just
can.
feel like the first sign that you see, you need to take it and run with it. Don't ignore the signs. I mean, it's okay to go through stuff and, I mean, I'm speaking for the women that have been through something. I can't speak for the women that's never been through it because it's like you
There you
have to
go.
go through it in order to understand it. Like, but
exactly.
after you've been through something like this, after you see, if you see any type of sign, anything that you, it's called like a really a motherly instinct,
There you
anything
go.
in that nature, or like a sign with just anybody that's your partner that is toxic or anything in that nature, like just the first sign that you get, don't ignore it and really, talk about it, do something about it. Is I just froze up. Can you guys still see me?
Yep.
Yes,
No,
we sure
we
can.
still
Keep
see you.
talking.
We hear you.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like me before him, when I was going through the situation, it didn't seem as bad as it was until I lost my daughter. I just would have never thought like having somebody that was abusive towards me would turn around on my daughter.
Mm.
Exactly.
So for me to say like I like the first, like any sign, if the man is putting their hands on you, it could definitely happen to your kid.
I
100%.
hope y'all listening.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
And you never think that, but it definitely can. You just think it can never be you, but it definitely can be you.
I mean, I know this threw you all the way to the left. Like, I'm sure this was a surprise. Like, you could not
Oh,
believe this.
when I went to the hospital and seen my daughter like that, like I honestly, I didn't. It didn't register until probably like a month or two later that she was actually gone because I just could not believe it. I'd never seen my daughter in that type of state. I've barely seen her with a scratch or a sore or anything, So it's like for me, just seeing my daughter a couple hours ago, her being fine, to seeing her in that nature, it was something that it's a feeling that you can't even explain. Like when I say I literally felt my heartbreak, I literally felt my
Mm.
heartbreak. And I've never been into depression or anxiety. I had my first anxiety attack. I deal with asthma, so I'm thinking I can't breathe. Like I couldn't literally breathe. I couldn't feel my chest. Everything went numb. I couldn't think. It's just it was like that. This experience that I went through with her is something that I wouldn't even wish this on my worst enemy.
Wow. Wow.
And
Now,
I think
go ahead.
Peachy, just what she just said was, man, I would have never thought my child father would have done that to his daughter because, per se, he's supposed to love and protect her at all means.
Exactly.
So I could know Neil and seeing videos of her with her child. I definitely don't think she would have even had the second guess that she would have received that phone call saying, come to the ER. And then she get there, he left the baby, abandoned the
Yeah,
baby. So
he
he
did.
abandoned somebody that she loved dearly and was hoping that he loved that child the same. I was able to see some
And
photos of
And I'm
her.
not gonna lie, that's where my anger come in with this situation because if it was a terrible accident or if it was something that he did not mean to do, if that was the case, you would have stayed there. Because the feeling that I have for my daughter is if that was me in that situation and something happened really bad, I'm rushing her to the hospital and I'm staying with her by her side and I'm not leaving her side. So
You're
for
right.
him to even come and just drop her off and leave,
Leave.
it's just that's where like everything just flew out the window because like the good doesn't outweigh the bad anymore. It's just I really don't know where his headspace was. And then when he had said something about that, he thought they was gonna arrest him for his warrants and all this other BS. But I just honestly think like how I am as a mother and how I feel about my daughter. I know if that was me in his shoes, I wouldn't have left my daughter. I wouldn't have left her side. I'd have been right there.
So you left from over there with your daughter, And Travion, you left from over there like around 11 o'clock. And then you went home. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden you get a phone call from Travion telling you that you need to go and check on your daughter at the hospital.
Yes. So I actually didn't even go home. Me and my friend and my little sister actually went out to like a little house party. And like when I don't have my daughter, I usually go out and just enjoy myself. So when he had her, we
As you
all went to
should.
like a little we went to like a little house party. We had a couple drinks and stuff. And it literally was like not even an hour or two later, called me like, Cardi fainted. And I instantly dropped what I was doing, like, Everett, let's go. Like, she fainted. I'm talking to him as we running down the stairs, getting into the car. And I'm in Ben Harbor at this time, and they're in South Bend. I made it to Ben Harbor to South Bend within 10 minutes, and that's a 30 to 40-minute drive.
Wow.
She didn't
And
break any laws, by the way. She just had a nice little
Not good.
teleportation.
Right. Right. Coming from man.
yeah, but
So
it's like,
you
when he
drove there
said,
to the hospital.
yeah, so like when we were on the phone, when he was saying like she fainted and stuff, he's like, she's okay and stuff. I'm like, it didn't even sound right. So I hung up the phone with him and I called the hospital, like asking them, do they have a Cardi, Cardi Weathersby? And they were telling me like, how far are you? Like they wasn't really trying to tell me too much over the phone. And they was like, are you the mother? And I'm just like, I'm trying to really figure out what's going on because I'm really confused. Like, what's going on? So by the time I make it there, they didn't even initially let me go back. They pulled me back into the room with homicide detectives. And I'm just like, homicide, who's dead type stuff, And he was basically saying like, this is just in case somebody dies. And I'm looking at it like, okay, is it Travion or somebody that he dealt with or something that he did? And they wasn't really telling me too much. They tried to ask me as many questions as they could. And I just know that a whole bunch of I can barely remember. I can't remember everything that went on, but it was such a big blur because it was just so heartbreaking when it went on. But I remember all these nurses just coming up to me, telling me, you got to get prepared to, go back here. I'm just like, prepared for what? Let me just see my daughter. And when I went back there to see her, I'm like, it was the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. Like, I just said, this is not real. Like the doctor kept trying to talk to me and I just really felt like it was not real. Like this cannot be happening. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're going to get into a commercial break. Okay, and you go ahead and you tend to the baby.
Okay.
Bernardo, you want to say anything? Y'all, she
I
got
know
a
you're gonna
newborn, y'all. She got a newborn.
right.
So we're
and
gonna
we're
respect
gonna-
the fact that she got a newborn baby over there.
So I know you got some video clips you're gonna show of the baby, and that's just gonna show the love she had. And
Yeah.
after seeing these video clips, just imagine her seeing her child. We got to see some photos of the baby, so I know being there live, a mother looking at her daughter in
She
that
was
condition
absolutely
was
beautiful.
just crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have a video of them?
Well, actually, I made a tribute for her.
Oh, okay.
I made a tribute for her. So when she comes back on, I guess that's one of the things that we can get into is
I want
our tribute.
people to see that reaction, the live reaction.
Exactly.
The photos, she very
Yeah. Well, we could get in. Let's get into the second clip.
Sure, go ahead.
While we're waiting on her to come back up. Here we go.
Breaking news we need to get to here first at 4. Charges have been filed in the murder of a 3-year-old South Bend girl. 21-year-old Trevion Shaver faces murder and aggravated battery charges. He's currently in jail in the Grand Rapids area. Police say someone dropped off Kardie Weathersby at Memorial Hospital early on October 13th with severe head injuries. She died 2 days later. An autopsy found she died from blunt force trauma. Court documents state Shaver told people several different reasons for those head injuries, including he went overboard while disciplining his daughter. Shaver could face up to 105 years in prison if convicted of both charges.
Right now, the St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit is investigating a case involving a child. According to officials, someone dropped off a 3-year-old girl at Memorial Hospital overnight with life-threatening injuries. The toddler, identified as Kardie Rose Weathersby, died just before 4 p.m. today. An autopsy is scheduled for Monday morning in Fort Wayne, and at this hour, no arrests have been made and no charges have been filed in relation to her death. Metro Homicide is handling the case per protocol, but it's unclear if foul play is suspected.
Start with breaking news. Charges have been filed in the death of 3-year-old Kardie Weathersby. 21-year-old Travion Shaver, who Weathersby's mother says is Kardie's father, has been charged with murder and aggravated battery. Weathersby was dropped off at the emergency room on October 13th and later died from blunt force trauma. Shortly after she was dropped off at the hospital, her mother told officials that the girl was under the care of her father. An arrest warrant has been issued. Shaver is currently in jail in Michigan on unrelated charges.
All right, we are back. I want to pull up a comment. I am who I am, Donald. And he says, yes, is that yeah. Oh, that's the baby. I am who I am, Donna. Inbox me today. Inbox me or DM me. Inbox me because you're on Facebook. I want to know about that picture of the baby. I saw that baby a couple times today, literally today. So I'm amazed that this is your profile picture, but I didn't see it under you. So please reach out to me. But I am who I am, Donald said, yes, I was in an abusive relationship when I was 18, and I asked God to release me from that relationship. The first time he hits you, run, don't stay. Why do y'all think so many people stay? As y'all are men. So
Well,
from a man's perspective,
I've been in that. So I think
you said you've been in that?
Yes, and a marriage with Cardi. We used to fight behind closed doors, but when we were out and when we did the divorce, people was surprised. But I remember her mother like, leave her. But my grandmother used to say, when you tired, you would leave. And, you know, her mom couldn't convince me. Nobody could convince me because it was in love. I was in love. But when I got tired, I left.
So you was the one being abused?
Yes, both was abusing. It took 38 stitches outside and 39 inside for me to be tired.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I think too? I think Fernando said it too, is it's love. Love is a crazy thing that'll have you misunderstand when it's time to go. You know, the first time should be the time. That should be it. No one should put their hands on anybody, period. Whether it's man on woman, woman on man, however that may look. It shouldn't happen at all. But I think and I don't know this, I'm not a licensed therapist or anyone of that nature. I just think that it's sometimes you might think it's the one time. All right, it was very heated. We both said some things and our anger just took over, and you give it another shot, and then you keep telling yourself that after 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe 5 or who knows, right? It's just the one time. So, and then like you just said, Fernando, your mom said it. Once you're tired and you had enough, you then would depart.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, Amber says, I was in a domestic relationship for 6 years from 17 until 24. I stayed because we had children and he was what I was familiar with. I felt like I was used to him and he is what I knew. So I stayed. Yeah. And I think that's with a lot of women just as well. You know, that's who they're.
And I mean, and you you really don't know it until you really going through it. Like after the fact of
Mhm.
it, it's like when you're going through it, you're so manipulated and your mind is all messed with, and it's so real. Actually, going through it is like you don't take it serious, but it's very serious.
Yeah, you're like,
Exactly.
oh, it wasn't bad. He just shoved me, or you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah,
oh, I said some bad things, and so you make excuses for him that are very valid in your mind and in your reality.
Exactly.
and it's
Now,
like I did. Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm
Well,
gonna put up the call-in number just as well. Before I put in this call, I'm gonna put it up. Let me go ahead and put it up right now. But before y'all call in, I just want y'all to go ahead and plug my phone. I want to play this tribute right quick for you, Nino.
okay.
This. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I gotta turn this down. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this tribute. This is Cardie's tribute. That's what I called it. And like I told you, I will go ahead and I will email this to you so that you can always have it. So this is for
Thank
you,
you.
Nino, and everyone. I hope you all enjoy it. Here we go. All I hear is raindrops falling from a rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape, but I've run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you? I said every little thing you do. Hey baby, say it stays on my mind. And I officially, it's official. Ooh, you know that I'm missing you, yeah, yeah, yeah. All I hear is raindrops. Ooh, yeah, and I'm officially missing you. All right.
Oh, you made me cry.
Right. I know you don't send that
Oh,
to her, Peachy, but make sure I get a copy. That would be forever on Justice for Michiana page in honor of baby Cardi.
Definitely. I would definitely send it to you both. Nino, if you don't mind, if we play it again before the end of the show tonight, for those that will be just tuning in, um, that right there, it was hard making that video. It was very hard making that video. The ending is what touched me
Hmm.
with her waving. And to me, it was her, letting you know I'm here, but I'm gonna see you again soon. I'm gonna
So,
see you
yeah,
again. I will see you
Yeah.
again. You know, um, Nino, she was beautiful. Had the most
yeah,
beautiful smile. I don't know what possessed him to do this to her. I do believe people snap. I do believe that. I really, really believe in that. But all we could do is continue to pray. That's all we
yeah.
can do is continue to pray.
I pray
Um,
for strength. That's the number one thing I pray for.
yes, yes, you have to. You have to pray for strength. And
And I'm sorry, and I'm not the one, I'll put this out there and let you marinate and put it in your spirit, but also pray for forgiveness. As you pray for strength, pray for forgiveness as well.
exactly,
That's gonna
that's
go a long way for your spirit. You know what I'm saying? You're not asking to forgive crazy stuff, but just for your spirit, ask for forgiveness as well.
Exactly. And I know that's hard. I know it's hard, but it's needed. It's definitely needed. Now, the call up number is up. So, anyone that would like to call in, please feel free to call in at this time. Is there more comments in the chat?
You see the very last one? You want to read that one?
Here we go. Yep. So Amber Wheat says, I can't imagine how you feel knowing you were unable to protect her from someone who you trusted to love and care for her. Praying for you, sister. Praying. BG had a good comment as well. I appreciate you, Fernando, with your honesty. Society is recognizing that both sexes are abused. Did the father ever threaten the child, or did he do this out of rage on the mother? So it's kind of a question for you, Nino, if you
I mean, it's like, I honestly can't answer any questions about it because I honestly don't know until trial. And because he haven't really spoke about, in detail exactly what happened. I mean, I do know what happened the night that we seen each other, but I can't, tell his feelings were right then in that moment when it happened.
Do you have, I mean, I know you don't know what happened, but do you sometimes try to figure it out? Like what could have possibly happened?
I haven't thought of the most worst thing that you can honestly think of down to the what could have, accidentally happened. And like from my understanding of everything, like the autopsy, I don't know if he used his hand or he pushed her into something. But the autopsy basically said blunt force trauma. So you have to hit somebody pretty hard for that to happen. So I don't think he could have hit her that hard with his hand. Just knowing like him with her, I just don't think he would do something that bad. But I just don't know, He could have pushed her into something. It could have been anything.
Exactly.
Now, one thing I will say, man, and I don't know how many people out here have children or whatnot. I will never, and I'm never giving this person a scapegoat or whatever the case. I will say this though: if you are dealing with tough times and hard times, and you're mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, and don't know how to handle stress, and and you've already been a person that has been flagged to have outbursts when you're stressed to the max. Someone said it in here, and I think you might have said it too, Nino, is that a person can snap, black out, and then don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? So the stresses of a 3-year-old could be enough. You tell a 3-year-old no more candy. I have a 2-year-old right now, and I tell her no more candy. I mean, the world has imploded, exploded, and did a twisty turn, and then exploded again because I told her no for a piece of candy. And sometimes that's the 5th time you didn't have to say that today and cause that. And then now you're also inside dealing with the stress levels of like, why isn't this 3-year-old listening to me?
And I'm not trying to make excuses for him either, because the whole fact of like, I know how my daughter was, and she was very easy to take care of. And I think it was really just her with that night. I feel like it was something with her peeing on herself that he tried to discipline her or something, and go ahead. And it went, I don't know how, because it's just, I can't imagine it based on me, just me being her mother for 3 years. I've never got that angry at her, and I just don't know how he was in that predicament. But I do know, like, her peeing on herself and having accidents, it was something that we both dealt with having her. But, I did try to explain to him, by him not, this is his first child. He don't understand, like, kids have accidents, even if after they're potty trained.
Yeah.
Like, so that was one of the things that I feel like probably triggered him. She steady having accidents, even though she was potty trained. I don't know. It's so much. I'm just really waiting on trial to know.
Exactly.
Even though I probably won't know exactly what happened, I will have an idea, and I'll have some type of peace to come to this.
Exactly. Because I'm sure that's what you want is peace. Just like any other
Yeah.
person that has lost a loved one. You just want to know what happened, what occurred that day.
Yeah.
If you can
Like,
find out step by step, I'm sure you would want to know step by step.
yeah. And I tried to, for the whole first year, I couldn't even sleep just thinking, like, I just know, like, my baby was probably wondering, like, where's my mom? Or, like, just everything. Because my daughter literally looked like that was my best friend. When I say my best friend, if I'm not around her for the whole day, she going to be like, where's my mommy at? And that never happened. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm at work, I'm calling to check on her on all my breaks. It's just, I really loved her and everything that we had.
Yeah. That
I have a question for her that I seen somewhere. His side of the family, have they been supporting you since this happened?
I can't say that my family did 100% turnaround because I had no support really when I with Cardi. I'm not gonna say I didn't really have support. It was just I moved around a lot, and it was very hard for my family to keep in contact with me. But it was hard not having a babysitter to go to work and trusting a babysitter at that. So it was really only my immediate family or her father. And so it was like my support system now is like I love all my family. I appreciate them for holding me up and getting me to where I am right now.
Amen. Amen.
I have
I have a question I want to ask her. So Vanarda told us at the beginning of the show that you just had a baby, correct?
Yes.
Do you have trust issues?
Oh, I haven't went to work yet since I didn't have him. He going on 4 months just because I've just yes, it's the lot mentally wise and if it's like if I'm away from him, my heart pounds real fast. Like I just think like of the worst what could happen to him, and it's just I think I'm traumatized.
Get you a work from home job. That's what we need.
I want to at this point because I'm just like, if my immediate family can't watch him, I don't trust the daycare.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, your child only have two parents, the mom and the dad, and I always feel like mom and dad is supposed to be the ones that protects. So I think I would be so fearful of if dad would sit there and do something like this, I can't trust nobody else. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I'm not
so how do you deal with that?
So it's like it put a hindrance on me and the child's father that I have with my son. Because it's like, he like before, because he's locked up right now. But before he got locked up, like it was like a big hindrance because he's just like, when are you gonna let me get the baby by myself? Or like, you don't have to be here every time, I'm spending time with him. But it's just like I'm not comfortable enough to just, get up and go just because you're his dad, because I literally lost my daughter to her dad.
Exactly.
So it's like it's something that's a work in progress, but we basically take it one day at a time.
And that's
all I can really think.
That's all you can take it one day at a time. Well, we're gonna go ahead, y'all, and close this out for tonight. But I am going to go ahead and play this motivation, and then we're gonna play Cardi's tribute again, just as well. And if anybody have any questions, anybody have anything they want to say, we go ahead, and that will be the time after the motivation. So here we go.
I'm telling you, the one thing you cannot get back is time. It is your greatest asset. I'd give somebody some of my money for a couple more years to be with my wife. Time is the greatest enemy. You thinking it's infidelity. The greatest enemy. You thinking that it's finances. You thinking that it's in-laws. You thinking that it's differences. No. It is time. We've got to learn how to steward our time. We got to learn to tend to it, guard it, keep it. I just want to make sure that the life we got left that is sweeter than the life that if I would give up or if I wasn't focused and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So when you've been with somebody since you're 16 years old and they got a chronic illness, don't you know it's easy for me to go drink? It's rough. My life, it ain't what it used to be before she got sick. Like, while God is blessing her, she still got MS. I lost 5 ounces to cancer. You don't think I could have smoked some weed? You don't think when I'm going through that pressure, I couldn't have broke? But you talked about it, mental toughness. It is in those times we have to be stronger than we've ever been before. Why? Because they need us more than they ever needed us before. And you guys are blessed in that you are the 1%ers. How many people want to be in your life who want the life that you have and you got it? And you not taking it serious? Like, you know how many people would die to have this life? You know how many people would die to be on the field on Sunday? You know how many people would die to eat the way y'all eat? You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. It's your life. You got it. What you gonna do with it? You gotta be able to see it when it cannot be seen. You have to see it happening. You have to believe in the unseen. Because if you can't believe in it, you will never manifest it. But when you believe in it, you demand the universe to assist you in what you're doing. And if you can see it before everybody else can see it, then it's going to eventually come to you.
All right. We are back. We are back. We are back. Jason, is there anything you want to say about that motivation tonight?
I agree with it, man. There was a lot of times in my own life that I felt that way, and I felt down and discouraged. But you know what I mean, you gotta snap out of it because you don't have much time here. You don't. So I for even myself, when I'm giving feedback to my friends, I give them a day. I'm like, all right, yeah, that shit happened. It was bad, but you get a day. You get this day to pout and cry about it, but tomorrow we back at it. So it's having that mental what is the word I'm looking for? That mental strength to be able to pull yourself back together and get back to, you know what I'm saying, the things that you need to be successful for your own, whatever you call success is.
Exactly. Now, before we go to Bernardo, this is an important question. Amanda Smith wants to know. She said, "Question for Nino: what type of justice do you want to be seen served for Cardi?"
So, sorry, just one second. I would
No, you're
love
fine.
to. I would love to see him man up and just tell what happened that night. And I honestly don't feel like it was intentional, like, I'm going to kill my baby. You know, I feel like he did go overboard and this did happen. And it's time for him to take accountability for his actions. And I do think that he should serve his time in jail. And, you know, because my daughter is gone behind this. So, you know, take accountability for what he has done just so everybody can be at peace with it. Because, it's going on 2 years now. So, we didn't got through the whole process of her being gone. Now it's the point where we need to put her to rest and just have all that peace. So I'm just ready for him to come forward and just tell exactly what happened and for him to serve his time.
Okay. We have a caller.
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Up and hung up. They hung up. If you want to call back in, you can call back in. We're still live. So anybody that want to call in, you still have time to call in. Now, this is how I feel, y'all. I understand mistakes happen. Things happen. I understand people snap. I understand all that. But when it comes to these kids, you either have life in prison or you have the death penalty.
The death penalty will be too
I
easy.
feel the death penalty when it comes to the kids. And I
I
heard
feel
what
like
you were saying. Say it again.
the death penalty will be too easy.
It would be too easy.
I honestly feel like he needs to serve his time, sit and think about everything that didn't happen, how everything played out, and you know, I feel like that's going to be, you know, where the justice comes in. That him realizing what actually went on and him taking the time to fix himself because he honestly needs help.
I completely understand.
I believe
completely understand.
he's facing 105 years.
Yeah.
no life is worth 105 years, right? But in the
Right.
state of Indiana, he's taking this to trial. I can't even imagine him gonna beat trial. But 105 years at the age he is at, he will serve around 80 years of that. Plus where he at now, I don't see him living in prison being 100 years old. So whatever time he get, it may not be life, but I believe he would die in prison.
I mean, him just sitting there having to think about him taking his own daughter's life right there. That's him going through, I feel like that right there is going to eat him alive.
And I remember talking to her when he used to call her from jail. Why are you calling me? You killed my baby. Why are you calling me?
Wow.
So, Justice for Miss
Have you
Anna
talked to
got
him?
his number blocked.
I only talked to him in the beginning of when everything was going on, but the last time he tried to contact me was his prosecutor tried to ask me did I want his sentence reduced, and I told him no. I want him to serve his full time.
Did he even apologize to
He
you?
kept trying to, and it's crazy because he still was trying to do the manipulation thing when it first happened. Like, don't let these white people turn us against each other. I would never do nothing to hurt Cardi. And it was just like, before I seen the autopsy, I kind of was like, it probably was an accident, something that happened, But once I seen the autopsy, you had to have done something to her. You had to have pushed her, hit her, or something in that nature to the point where you did this. So there's no running around it or nothing. And he even gave so many stories. I don't know what to believe.
Yes, he did give like 3 or 4 different stories.
Once.
So, well, y'all, we finna get y'all. She got to get back to this newborn, this 4-month-old baby. She got to get back to him. We can't keep her through here too long. No,
Right.
you're fine. You're fine. What I'm gonna do is play Cardi's tribute again, and then we're gonna close out the show. I don't want you to come all the way down yet, okay? I want you to wait till we end the broadcast, and then we're gonna talk a little bit. But Nino, is there anything that you want to say before we end this broadcast to everybody that's out there watching?
I mean that if anybody else in my situation or have been in my situation that have been through something that I've been through, you can make it and you can get through it. And I'm just here to tell you, I'm a living witness. I'm a living testimony. I done been through it. And even though that was my first love, my heart, my everything, she still lived through me. And I feel everything positive from her still living through me. Like, I didn't went to school. I'm trying to better myself. I didn't have a son. Like,
Amen.
you can get through it. And then all it takes is prayer and strength.
Yes.
Exactly. If there was one thing that you can say to her dad right now, if no one was around, it was just you and him, what would you say to him?
To Travion?
To Travion.
I would tell him that, I know this wasn't intentional. I know you didn't want to, kill your daughter, but I don't even know what I would even say. Like, I just know this happened. It happened. My daughter is gone behind this, but I know that in his heart, he wasn't trying to intentionally kill Cardi.
Exactly. I understand what you're saying.
It is so hard to explain. I might get a lot of bad comments behind it and everything, but
who cares?
It's like,
we don't care. Let
but
them
it's
say
like,
what they want to say.
Me just going through everything that I went through with him. Yes, I can never forgive you for taking my daughter away from me, but I forgive you. Like, I'm just at that point. I just want peace. I want this to be done and over with. I feel like my daughter is resting, and we just need to just leave it how it is.
All right. Now, if anyone wants to reach out to you, do you want them to reach out to you?
You definitely can. That's actually what helped me get through everything I've been through is the positivity and the words of encouragement. I really appreciate and I love everybody that has been there for me and have walked me through this because it definitely has not been easy.
So one thing that I say on my show is I tell people who's a guest to always drop their peaches. So drop your peaches and let everyone know where they can find you at on social media. And if anyone wants to reach out to her to give her words of encouragement or anything, but y'all keep it positive. Keep it positive, okay? Please do so. Like she said, it helps her out a lot. So where can they reach you at?
You can reach me on Facebook. I'm pretty open. My Facebook is public. At Nino Weathersby. I don't know if I can you guys could type it up or whatever. But
Jason,
yeah,
hold on. Give
Yeah.
me 1 second. Okay, what is it?
it's Nino Weathersby. My nickname and my last name on Facebook. And I appreciate anybody that sends words of encouragement and positive things. I mean, everybody has their views and their opinions on everything, but honestly, I just need positivity right now.
Okay, y'all heard that. All she need is positivity. You can find her on at Nino Weathersby on Facebook. Okay, positive energy, y'all. She's been through a lot. Well, you already know I'm gonna be reaching out to you, sweetheart, and keeping
Yeah,
up with you, see what you got going on and everything like that.
yeah.
Definitely. Bernardo,
I,
anything you
I
want to
see so
say?
many people showing love in the comments
A lot
today.
of people.
We definitely appreciate that. And this for you, baby girl. They want to see the newborn. And if you want to show the newborn,
Did
that's
you
fine.
guys want me to show the
Don't.
newborn? Okay. I'm saying
So
it.
everybody wants to see the baby. I seen him, so I know. So
He's
All
kind of
right,
he's
so it's
not
a little
matching.
boy. Look at him.
Say hi.
Oh, he's adorable.
right.
So adorable.
Hey,
So adorable.
he is too adorable. And you said
Yes,
he's
this is
4 months
my
old now?
yes.
Girl, he is adorable. He is
Yeah.
so
Thank you
adorable.
guys.
You are
And
so
again, we
welcome.
thank you for coming on. Trusting Peachy T, who I trust, along with Jason, to tell your loved one story.
And I
And
definitely appreciate you guys for just me being able to speak about this. It feels really good to be able to express myself in a positive way and just getting her story out there and just telling everybody, if somebody has been through what I've been through, that you guys can definitely get through it. And there's sunshine definitely after the rain.
All right, y'all heard it. And if I ever do another story like this, if I need you to come on, to help out another person that's going through it, I would definitely reach out to you. I really will. So I appreciate you. I really do. And thanks again for trusting me with your story. And y'all, we are going to end this with Cardi's tribute, baby. This for you,
hey,
girl.
Love
Here
you,
we go.
baby.
All I hear is raindrops falling from a rooftop. Oh, baby, tell me why'd you have to go? 'Cause this pain I feeling won't go away. And today I'm officially missing you. I thought that from this heartache I could escape, but I've run it long enough to know there ain't no way. And today I'm officially missing you. Ooh, can nobody do me like you? I said every little thing you do. Hey baby, said stay officially